We're recording. Okay, before I mute everybody who has questions first. This really is just like pretty informal. So I just wanted to be able to like have you like face-to-face sort of, you know, introvert thing, but be able to just like spew out your concerns, your questions, what you're struggling with, any struggles you have with the meal plan, understanding it, anything. Vent away. Anything?
I haven't got that far yet.
You're like, I don't even know what to tell you.
I'm scared shitless. That's all I know.
That's normal. That's totally normal. So just to tell you my experience when I bought my challenge pack, I purchased it and it sat on my counter for a good week and I stared at it and I was like, I can't even look at that. Like, I was so overwhelmed. It like, just looking at it, I would like get sweaty palms and I was like, I would like freak out because it scared me to death. Like literally scared me to death. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to read it. And I read it and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. I got so in my head about it that it literally gave me the worst anxiety. I started like hyperventilating and I was just like, okay, I can't do it. And then it took me, it was like a full week. And then Emily is my coach. So she messaged me and she's like, you know, we're going to start. I thought that I just was like one of those people who were like never starting. Like everybody else was going, but we hadn't even started yet. So she's like, okay, we're going to start June 1st. And I was like, okay, like I got to just do it. It took me 4 days to even create any type of menu because I was like, I don't cook. I don't do any of this stuff. Like I don't meal plan and I don't like writing grocery lists. I don't do that. Like it's so hard for me for some reason. So it took me 4 days and then Gio helped me meal prep. And when I was done, I sobbed my eyes out because it was like relief that it was like that first step of my like journey that it was like, okay, I did that. Like, and it was so stupid and it seemed so silly at the time, but like, that's why I encourage it because it does, that was like the first step in belief in my journey of, okay, I got through that hard part. That was what scared me the most was the eating part. And I prepped the crap out of it. So I set myself up and then it was like, okay, I can do it. Like, that was like my first real like accomplishment before I had even started. And so I'm pretty like, you know, I know a lot of people are like, do this for me, but I really believe that that is like such a magic spot in your journey from the beginning. Like if you looked in the challenge group, I made everyone post your before pictures. That was another really scary moment.
I almost cried when I heard you that in the video. Like I teared up. I'm like, nope, not happening.
And you guys, I think it's because we get so in our heads. We get so in our heads about what we look like and what is expected of us and what people are going to think. And you know what? The best part of this thing is we all have crappy before pictures. That's why it's a before picture. And that's why the after pictures are freaking awesome. And it's so motivating and inspiring. And to be able to do this together and to like just cheer each other on and be there for each other, that is the beauty of these groups and why I love it so much, because it's not about being a perfect body and getting to that perfect way. It's about your journey and watching you guys progress. Like you, like I was telling all my coaches, I'm like, did you see all their before pictures? Do you know how much that motivates me? Like, because it helps me to know what you guys need. It helps me to be that guide for you guys because I know exactly how you feel because I was that person. And I'm still that person. I still work on that every day. I'm just further into my journey than you. And so it comes with time and you don't have to know everything today. You don't have to go in and if you start on Monday, you don't have to know it all. It's all about the journey. It's all about what you can learn and change, and like those little aha moments as you go. So like, being overwhelmed and having that scary feeling, that means change is going to happen. One, I think it means it needs to happen. And it's just it's magical when it does. You can stick with it, and it's like if you're doing 21-day fix, okay, 3 weeks. I told myself, okay, I have 3 weeks. I can do 3 weeks. If it doesn't work after 3 weeks, it doesn't work. But if I go all in, no sheets, work out for 3 weeks, let's just see what happens. And that was a really good, it didn't seem so overwhelming to take it in those small steps. So that's why I like 21-day fix, because it is a shorter program and it's more doable than a 90-day program or a 60-day program. Those are overwhelming and they get to you sometimes. And so that 21 days is a sweet spot, because it tells you 21 days to make a habit, right? And that's exactly what it does. It teaches you. So I literally went 21 days, perfect, didn't cheat. And then I gave myself a break to breathe and not like always be focusing on food and containers and working out. And I still did it, but it gave me some breathing room, and I had some treats, and then a week after that, I jumped back in for 3 weeks, super strong. And I did that for pretty much until I went to Disneyland, and then that derailed my progress a little bit. Too many good treats in Disneyland. But that system worked really well for me mentally, because it is such a mental game. You will talk yourself out of this because it gets you out of your comfort zone. And we're not designed to, like, when we're comfortable, like, we just want to stay there. We just want to, like, huddle into our little comfort. And the thing is your comfort zone is not comfortable, or you wouldn't be here. Like, you wouldn't be here asking for help. You wouldn't be here trying to become better if you were comfortable with where you're at. And that's where it's such a mind thing, because you tell yourself that you're going to fail and it's not going to work, and you're going to be sore and it's going to be miserable. And maybe it will be for a few days. But when you break through those first few weeks and you like see the changes that you made and how much better your mood is and how much better you feel and how much your kids notice it, like, that is motivating. And that's where your motivation comes from. Like, so many people are like, how do you stay so motivated? I stay motivated from you, first of all. Every one of you who join and do this with me motivates the crap out of me. But it's also those little things and those little steps that I notice different in my own life and my kids and my marriage and my relationship. It's so much more than just what you weigh and what you look like. And that you don't find that with anything else. Like, you really don't find that with any other diet, with any, like, when you're doing it yourself, it doesn't happen the same way when you're not really connecting and finding what drives you. You have to find a hunger for it. You have to find that why. And that's why I kind of press that and I talk about personal development, because the mental part is the hardest part, hands down. It is. Like, in your workouts, when you want to quit, it's not your body that wants to quit, it's your mind that wants to quit because you're tired. If you can start to flip your mind, everything else is easier. So that's rant number 1. Who has questions now? You guys, I seriously could go off for hours, like, for real. Okay, Brianne.
I have a question. Okay. So I got my whole package thing today, and I did the calorie count thing, and I'm like 82 calories from Plan C and Plan B.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend just staying with Plan C or going with Plan B?
I
mean, there's like literally 82 calories.
I'm the same way with the highest bracket and the lowest, like the next bracket down.
Uh-huh.
And so what I would recommend is start with your highest one first.
Okay.
And then you adjust your calorie brackets as you lose weight. So if next week you lost 5 pounds and it drops you to the next calorie bracket, then just drop it down.
Drop it down. Okay.
But try and
that makes sense. I didn't realize that you did that every week. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, when I weighed myself, like I printed off the little trackers and it lets you track weekly. So I weighed myself every Monday and I took measurements every week. And it just helped me see that, like, even though I didn't physically see things on paper, it was happening slowly. And that helped keep the motivation too. You can do it whenever you want. If you want to wait your full round to do it. For me, that worked really well. And it helped me know that it was working. It was, I was losing inches everywhere and it was consistent. It was small, but it was consistent. And so each week I would weigh myself. And then if you download the 21 Day Fix app, it will actually adjust you put your weight in from the beginning and then you do a full round. But if you lose quite a bit, you can restart it and it adjusts that all for you.
Okay.
And it will tell you how many containers for everything. And then you can track it too. And you can, you track containers, your water, all that kind of stuff. So it's just trial and error. And you guys, it is a lot of food to get used to. You'll be eating like every 2 hours. You'll be like, I have to eat that much again. It's so crazy. Siri sorry, my phone started talking to me. But the thing is once you detox and as you're working out, you're going to be like, sometimes you feel hungrier. Like anytime I start a new program that's different than what I've been doing, I'm starving like all the time. And it's because your body is adjusting. It's your metabolism adjusting and you start burning differently. And so you adapt and you start to, it only lasts a few days, but you burn off fruits and vegetables and lean proteins faster than you do carbohydrates and sugar. And that's what most of processed food is it's loaded with sugar and it has all sorts of stuff in it. And so it takes some time for your bodies to adjust to clean eating. It can be uncomfortable. I did not have the best experience, and honestly, it's a miracle that I still stuck with it because I had every detox symptom you can think of, and it was awful. So I'm very open about that because it's, as long as you're aware that that's what it is, it's easier to deal with and it sucks. But if I was majorly addicted to caffeine, so I expected it. I expected the headaches. I expected the fatigue. But Shakeology, if you're not used to the digestive enzymes in your gut, so because I was only drinking Diet Pepsi and I was eating sugar like crazy, carbohydrates and sugar in your gut they feed off of bad bacteria. Like bad bacteria in your gut, like is fed by sugar. And so there's so many digestive enzymes and pre and probiotics to get your gut to a natural state that if you're eating sugar and drinking Shakeology, it's like literally fighting against each other because the sugar is feeding the bad and the Shakeology is trying to get rid of the bad, if that makes sense. And so it can be uncomfortable. It can cause diarrhea and it can cause constipation and bloating. And that takes some adjusting. If you feel that way, if you have discomfort in your gut, drink a lot of water. A lot of it is going to be detox because you're literally cleaning out your guts. Like it's like an internal car wash. And if you have to, go down to a half of a scoop instead of a full scoop. That helped me a ton. And then I slowly worked up to it. So just know that it can be uncomfortable, but it's normal and it's not forever. I don't want to scare you, obviously, but I want to be real with you because it can be uncomfortable. And like you can be more tired and, but once you get through the detox and once you get through that fog, it's seriously like I woke up one day and I literally felt like this sludge of like crap was like off of my shoulders and I could think clearly and I had all this energy and I felt good and I wasn't having to take 3-hour naps every afternoon. and my guts weren't bloated. Like, I've never had normal guts my whole life. And so, like, that's when I started, because I actually quit Shakeology for like 2 weeks, and I realized it wasn't the Shakeology at all. It was the detox. It was the toxins in my body. And so once you clear all that out, you know, Shakeology is designed to use while you're eating healthy. If you're not eating healthy, it will be uncomfortable. So it's just goes hand in hand. So if you can talk to me about your poop problems if you need to. I'm not ashamed to talk about poop. So it's all good. We're all friends. You can message me privately. You don't have to do it in the March group thread if you don't want to, but just we're keeping it real. All right. All right. Anyone else have questions? Anyone?
Okay, this is a really bad question. I should really know the answer to this. But what comes in everything that I bought yesterday?
Okay, so you'll get the on-demand, which is the digital. You probably have access to that already. You'll get your bag of Shakeology, and then you'll get the containers and the meal plan in the booklet, and then you should get a shaker cup for your Shakeology too. So what you get in the mail isn't that much because most of what you paid for was digital. But
right.
And then everything that you get in the mail too, if you ever lose your booklet or anything, it's all in Beachbody On Demand. So you can still look it up and have access to it. So.
Gotcha.
Okay. Chris. I'll unmute you. Okay, go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I am on plan A and I'm at like the low end.
Mm-hmm.
So when I won't have to like recalculate and like eat less, right?
No. That's baseline. You'll either go into maintenance mode. They have a maintenance plan if you're not looking to lose anymore. And I think it gives you more food. But you'll never go lower than that.
Okay. All right.
We don't want to starve you. You still have to.
My husband's like 1,300 calories. Are you insane?
Yeah. And I mean, if it feels like you're hungry, if you guys are ever hungry, you can always add protein. You can always add vegetables. So if you feel like you need a snack or you need more and you're out of containers, just add protein, add vegetables. Really the trick with it is even if you don't eat, you want to try and eat all your containers in the day. But some days that just doesn't happen. So the best way to do it so that you're not eating only your carbs and leaving your vegetables is to try and keep them balanced at every meal. I try and eat like one of every container at every meal, including breakfast. Like eat vegetables at breakfast. Yeah. For me, I have to because otherwise I have to eat 6 cups of vegetables. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
So to get my vegetables in, I hide my vegetables in a lot of things. I like vegetables, but it gets old eating salad all day long or eating the same one. So I put spinach in my eggs because it blends really well. I put spinach in my Shakeology because you don't taste it. Cauliflower rice is really good. Like if you guys do like a stir fry, it's really good. It has that consistency of rice. I use like spaghetti squash or zoodles and I'll mix it with whole wheat noodles in spaghetti. There's so many ways you can do it. It's just find what you like, and just the more variety you have, the better. But better to get them in than not at all. So,
thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Do any of you other coaches have anything to say? Any tips that I maybe am not thinking of?
I just had a thought just watching this that sometimes we overcomplicate things and make it way too complicated. And it really is just a simple plan. If you just simplify it, like don't make it too complicated. You don't have to have like every single vegetable on that list. And you don't have to have like every single protein. Like look at your list and figure out what you like and what you will eat, and just go from there. Like, make it simple. And then what I have found that helps me is meal prep. Like, I'll tell you, I've been doing this for a little over a year, and this week is the first time I've really meal prepped, and it has helped us a ton. But I have kept it super simple. I picked like 4 veggies and just stuck with meat that I had, and just kept it simple and not anything like super crazy. Just sat down Sunday and planned it out, and then just Monday I cooked it all, and it literally took me like a little bit over an hour, and now I have my food for the rest of the week. So my suggestion would be, just don't overcomplicate it. Go with what you like your fruits and your veggies, and what, look at that list, and don't get overwhelmed by the list. Just pick what you like and then go off of that. Just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It shouldn't be something that scares you. It should be simple.
I think too, like, you can get on Pinterest, and there's like a bajillion recipes on Pinterest that are 21-day fix approved. There's a bajillion. The problem with that is a lot of them are casseroles, and like they get overwhelming to cook that many meals. So part of the reason I was so overwhelmed with meal prep is I thought I had to cook a different meal for every single night, and it was like, I don't have time to cook 8 meals a week, And so I would do, I like mass prepped like things that I can make different things with. So I would do like a big pot of rice or quinoa or potatoes. Like, I would do one big thing of carbs that I could use in different things. So I could make stir fry rice, or we could make teriyaki bowls, or just rice with chicken and a vegetable, or so that I could create different things with it, but it was already done in the fridge, if that makes sense. So I would do like a big pot of vegetables, and then we would barbecue chicken and steak and pork or something, and then we would create our meals from that. So meal prep doesn't have to necessarily be like, the meal prep container, portion it out. You could do it that way and do the same lunch all week long if that's what you like, and then maybe switch up dinners, because that's usually when husbands are home and they want variety. But it really comes down to finding your groove and finding what you like. And, the containers are only meant to be a measuring tool. Like, they're literally stick it in the container and then dump it out. So if you're not sure, if you have a favorite meal, measure it before you stick it in the pot. And then what's in the pot is this many containers if you're mixing it together or something. Does that make sense? You don't have to I think where people get confused is like, you make a pot of lasagna or something, and you're like, well, how many containers is that? I don't know. Some of it is guesswork, but that comes with time. So especially when you're first starting, just keep it simple.
And the Fix8, have you guys watched the Fix8 on Beachbody On Demand, the Fix8 show, like the fundamentals? Did you have them watch that, Sharon?
It's in the other video that I showed them, but I did mention it. I think essentials, but it's fundamentals.
Yeah, fundamentals.
It does help, because she gives you 2 different meal prep ways, and it's basically what I told you, like the 5-day meal prep, that it's all the same meal every day, and then she does one that's more like you create meals from different things, that you prep big things and separate it.
Put together.
The other trick too is, this has to be something that your family likes. You don't want to be cooking dinner for you and then cooking dinner for your family. Like, that's ridiculous and not realistic. And it's going to wear you out and stress you out. So look at what you prepare for your family now, and the things that your family likes to eat. And, if you have to make, like, for instance, spaghetti, you can eat spaghetti, and instead of using regular pasta, use whole wheat pasta. You really can't tell that big of a difference. If you don't like whole wheat pasta, eventually your taste buds change, but if your kids won't eat it, it's not that big of a deal to boil 2 pots of pasta if you had to.
Just don't tell them. They won't know.
Yeah, don't tell them the things that you switch. Because if you tell them you're making it more healthy, they're going to be like, oh, this is gross. But if you don't tell them, they're not going to notice. They might a little bit, but eventually your taste buds start to change anyway. But just those little changes really are like key in making things stick and making progress happen. So, you know, it eventually, it does need to be something that your whole family kind of gets involved in, and something that really helped Gio get on board with me. He was always supportive. It was just kind of like, do your thing. But he started to see the food I was eating, and that I could eat a steak, and I was eating chicken, and I was eating all these good meals. And he was like, I'm eating like McDonald's every day. This sucks. And so he kind of got on board in helping me prep and cooking with me so that he could take his lunches. And that, like, him alone, he started eating with me. He didn't work out at all, and he lost 20 pounds in a month just from changing his eating habits. And he was eating way better than he ever was before, with really good food. And so find the meals that your family likes, and if you have to tweak them a little bit, and even if it's gradual, even if it's like, it takes time. Your family has to adjust, and my kids still are adjusting to some things, but like, it's pretty awesome to see them like go for carrots in the fridge or ask for a vegetable where they never would have before. And so those are other parts of your motivation, and notice, like, they notice what you're doing. And so anyway, any other questions? Is this helping, or is this making you more overwhelmed? Okay. Sometimes I like to throw up a lot of information on people, and I think I scare them. Anything else? Anything? Can you think of anything, Emily?
You're the bomb, Sharon.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, I just muted. There you go.
Okay. I would just, again, just reiterate the importance of your measurements. I know she talked about pictures being uncomfortable, but every form and different forms, with your, measurements, your weight, pictures, all of those things, because like she said, it's amazing along your journey that you don't see the transformation coming, and you just see the same person that's been there the whole time. So really make sure that, as comfortable as that might feel right now, to take those pictures, and sometimes when maybe the scale is not moving, you'll see a lot of change in other areas that'll keep you motivated. So make sure you're tracking.
Yeah, tracking really is so important. Write it down, because like I said in my video, like, I have a binder that I have from day one, and I would have never remembered I was that big. Because I literally sometimes feel the same way. Like, I forget that I was that big, and I forget that I remember the uncomfortable part, but you forget about, like, I'll put on pants now and I'm like, oh. And I naturally, when I go to the store, the first thing I pick up is a double extra large every time. And I look at it to see if it's going to fit me. I'm not a double extra large anymore. Like, it's your brain, even when you see progress and even when you notice it, for some reason, it just reverts back to that old person. And it's because it took years to get to that person. And it's going to take a long journey to get out of it and to think differently, but it's so worth it. Like, it's so empowering to know really what you're capable of and really what our bodies are capable of. Like, I read all the time about different things, and, we take better care of our cars than we do our own body. And our body is carrying our spirit, and we wonder why everyone's depressed and have anxiety and stressed all the time. And it's because we're never changing our oil, and we're not putting good gas, and our batteries are empty. Like, we're on like super low end fuel, putting up a hill, hoping we make it. And then we burn out, and then we put $5 in gas and we hope we make it up the hill. Like, that's how people live their lives in their body. And when you feel what it feels like to have that engine full of good gasoline and to be cleaned out and have that body that's carrying you, that's fueling you, and you can just coast. It's like, why? This is so much easier than what I was doing before. Like, when you have that aha, like, click, it just makes so much more sense, and you feel so much better. And it's just silly to me. Like, it becomes silly. And I used to be that person so much. Like, I was not willing to give up my sugar and my caffeine because it tasted good. But I didn't realize really the damage that it was doing to my vehicle, to my body. And it's crazy. Like, the more you learn about yourself and like how it all works, it is like, seriously, our bodies are a miracle. Like, they're incredible what they are capable of. And I think the more you are in tune with it, and the more you feel like, now I can eat something and I immediately feel crappy if it's not something good for me. And I can relay that back. Okay, that was something I ate, instead of my kids bugging me, or like, you start to be more in tune with yourself. And I think that's pretty powerful. So anyway, I've become like a health nerd, I guess. Not too crazy yet, but it's just so fascinating to be able to like, and until you get there, until you feel it, like, it just seems crazy. Like, it seems impossible, but it's not. I promise you it's not. So, Brianne, you're not muted. You can talk.
Oh, I'm not? Okay. Is there anywhere to find like a sample, like meal prep type thing? Does that make sense? Like, something that I can look at and be like, okay, this looks like this, and I like this, I can put this. Does that make sense?
Yes. So in the fundamental videos, I think there's a meal plan thing in there.
Okay.
In the file section of the app, there's also tons of resources in there.
Okay.
There's meal prep ideas. There's like 9 different things in there.
Okay.
Go over different topics. The way that helped me the most to figure out a menu is I started with dinner first. And when I would do my dinner, this is how I like to do it. I would do my dinners so that they were a little bit different. And I kind of would theme my weeks. So we eat a lot of Mexican food. So I would do like tacos one night, taco salads one night, different things like that I can use salsa and guacamole and different ingredients. So I could mass produce a thing of salsa, but I was using it for different things. Does that make sense? So I would start with dinners, and then I would always make leftovers for dinner to use for my lunch the next day.
Okay.
And then so dinner first, and then I would do breakfast, because I usually eat pretty much the same type of breakfast because I take it to work. And then whatever I have left container-wise, that's what I would make my snacks and my lunch from.
Okay.
That's what has worked for me, and it's been so much less overwhelming, because it's a matter of, then you can find where you need.
Well, that's what I was afraid of. Like, that I think what I'm more afraid of is just the overwhelming, like, where do I even start? Does that make sense? But if I had something like that to kind of show me, like,
in 22-minute hardcore, they actually gave samples of, with each calorie bracket. The calorie brackets are a little different because it's more of an intense workout, but they would do like how many containers you have at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it was kind of easy to see what you would eat. I could post a picture of that, so you can kind of get an idea of how many containers you should be eating at each meal. Emily's really good at this, though. She has her planner. So.
Hey, I don't know if you can see me. This is my all-time favorite.
Oh, okay.
And that's Pinterest is like a world of type in 21-day fix and it will pull up a bazillion ideas for you. Meals,
I think
different trackers. But this one's my favorite because it'll put you in your calorie bracket, and then it has for how many, it has 3 greens to however many servings you have. It has that many of them in there. So then as you're writing your menu, okay, I'm having fajitas, so I'm going to cross off a yellow and a red and a green. because I've got my
Okay.
protein, my carb, and my veggie. So I'm like, okay, I've got those. And then I can go up and cross them off as I fill it out so that I make sure that I get them all in. But that's the way I've done it almost my whole year I've been doing it, and that works awesome for me. Every Sunday night I just sit down and fill it out for the week. And like Sharon said, my meal planning is I take, whatever meals I'm doing for that week, and I'll do like rice bowls on Monday. So I'll have veggies. So I'll just cook extra of what I'm already cooking. So
Okay.
I'll do extra brown rice. So then the next night I might do stuffed bell peppers, and my rice is already done. So then I just have to make the other things. So just as you're planning your menu, keep that in mind. Okay, well, what am I making here with chicken? What can I do, another night? So then just make extra while you're cooking it. So
Okay.
that when you get to those other dinners, it's just that much simpler. And then usually whatever I have for dinner is what I have for lunch the next day.
Next day.
So then that makes that easier. It's less planning that I have to do or getting things out. It's just whatever I had for dinner, and then it's easier to keep my container counts. I don't have to figure out a whole bunch of different meals of container counts.
Okay.
So that's my
Awesome.
favorite.
Thank you. That helps a lot because I'm that kind of a person that kind of has to see it all out on a spreadsheet, so that
Yeah.
helps a lot. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so just type in 21 Day Fix weekly planner in Pinterest.
Okay.
And if I'm technology savvy enough, I'll try to
I
throw
have
a link in the group.
I have the link for that. I'll post.
Oh,
So the
awesome.
link has, I think it has those, and I think it has all the trackers too, like the body trackers and all that stuff that you can print out too.
Yeah, it has like a grocery list. You can do it breaks down your grocery list into each food group and or color container too. So
Yeah.
good one.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else? I hope this has been helpful. It's fun to hang out. I'm glad we haven't always done these, and I actually really like them. I don't know if everybody else does, but I do.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions, guys, because we've all been there and been overwhelmed and been at the start of this journey, and that's why we do this, is
Yeah.
because, like Sharon said, you guys fuel our fire, and it's so awesome to be a part of you starting on your journey, and do whatever we can help. So it doesn't matter if I'm not your specific coach. If that is something, like Sharon said, I absolutely love meal planning. It's fun for me. I've had several people that don't even do, Beachbody, whatever, that I've sat down and done meal plans with. It's something I enjoy doing, and so if that, if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out to any of us coaches, because we're all here for all of you.
Well, this has been really helpful for me, and I appreciate it because, like I said, I've been a little overwhelmed, like, I don't know where to even go with this, So it's been really helpful. So thank you.
We can do these as
To you and Sharon.
like seriously, if you guys feel like you want to chat again, I will do these as much as you want. You guys want to do them once a week or every other week and just kind of just hash out some things. I'll try and post different tricks and different food. I love the app for so many reasons, but there are a few things that are a little bit frustrating because Facebook groups, I could do albums of food ideas and I could do albums of recipes and stuff, and I can't do that as easily in the app, and it makes it a little harder to share that with you. And so sometimes I forget about all these awesome little things, and so I'll try and remember to anything that just clicks. And sometimes it's hard because I've done it for so long that it's just I feel like everyone knows it already and they don't. And so, there's so many things eating out. Let's talk about eating out for a little bit, because there are so many places that you can eat clean. Obviously, I think it's good to try and not eat out as much as you can for the first little bit until you really understand portions and what it looks like and how because eventually, you'll start to get used to the containers. I highly recommend always using them because you start to revert back to old habits. I'm guilty myself of that. but you start to kind of be able to eyeball things. And so when you go out to a restaurant, you can, stop yourself instead of eating the whole massive plate. But there are tons of restaurants you can go to. Like Cubby's has awesome salads and things that you can eat. Where else do I go? Cafe Rio has a ton of stuff. Even Chick-fil-A has really healthy sandwiches and grilled chicken. And I mean, obviously it's not the very best choice because let's be honest, when I go to Chick-fil-A, I don't want the grilled chicken. So it's more temptation to not eat, you're going to eat the French fries and their amazing ice cream. I'm guilty of all those things. But I think, there are healthy options that are good that you don't feel like you're eating, crappy food. So, with Cafe Rio, they have the balsamic dressing. You can do whole wheat tortillas. The rice and beans are both carbs, but what I usually do is I save half of it for the next day and I make them load extra lettuce on it. And then salad dressings are I feel like people love ranch dressing, or they love a certain dressing that maybe isn't as healthy. I will post a recipe for a healthy version of Cafe Rio Ranch that is it's made from cottage cheese, so it's technically a protein, so you can have as much of it as you want, and it tastes just like Cafe Rio Ranch. It's amazing.
It really does.
I've literally tested them together, and it's so good. You just have to make sure you blend it or you'll get chunky cottage cheese, but it's really good, and it lasts quite a bit. The other thing, they have the Bolt House Farms Greek yogurt dressings are really, really good as well. They have one that's it's avocado cilantro, and that's really close to Cafe Rio dressing too. I typically buy that one because it lasts longer than the one you make, and I'm lazy. But they have ranch dressing in the Greek yogurt. They have tons of different flavors, and they're really good. They're just healthier versions. So if you're feeling deprived, I've had people who are I put ranch dressing on everything. I can't do this. Good luck.
I've made ranch dressing with cottage cheese before.
Yeah, that's really good.
And it's really not bad.
Yeah.
It's not regular good ranch, but it's better than not ranch.
You know what I do? Because I love ranch dressing on my potatoes. I literally just dump some of the ranch seasoning on top of it without any of the cream, and then it doesn't even matter. And it tastes like it. So I usually put cottage cheese on my potatoes, and so it just kind of blends in it, and it tastes like you're eating ranch, and it's not ranch. So that's another tip.
Can I share this awesome find that Costco has?
I need to try that.
Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's Greek yogurt. It's called meze something dip, roasted red pepper. Seriously life-changing. I dip veggies in it, the little mini bell peppers and carrots, and it's also super good as a spread on a sandwich instead of mayo and all the crap. It has so much flavor in it that just put a little bit of that on a sandwich, and seriously, it's amazing, and it counts as a protein. So 2 thumbs up for that one.
I try and share Costco finds a lot. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I Insta story a lot of my reviews because I don't want to over annoy people with my posting, but I try and share anything good that I find. And because I'm at Costco so much, if I get anything new, I'll tell you. But what else? Greek yogurt. I hate Greek yogurt. It's disgusting. It tastes like sour cream. But plain Greek yogurt is a great substitute for sour cream. So if you like sour cream on your tacos or salads or whatever, it's a really good substitute. So if you don't like Greek yogurt, get the Oikos 000 Greek yogurt. It's in the black container. It's sweetened with stevia, and it's the only one that's approved 21-day fix-wise that has fruit in it. All the other ones have tons of sugar in them. But here, I'll grab one and I'll show you what they look like.
Anyone have any tips for a slight mild ketchup addiction? Put it out there.
A what?
No sugar ketchup.
I've got a ketchup problem.
They just posted a ketchup recipe on Fixate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just saw that today, actually. Ketchup has a lot of sugar in it.
Food group at our house, so.
That's so funny. Organic ketchup will be better.
They have no sugar ketchup. I don't know what it tastes like.
I think I've had it actually. It's all gone, so it must not have been bad because I don't remember throwing it away.
So this is the Okios. They seriously taste like dessert, especially when you're not eating sugar. So I'll make, like, Emily makes a freaking bomb granola, homemade granola that's super easy. You stick it, and it seriously tastes like dessert. It's so good.
You get the banana cream one of that Okios, and then the homemade granola and a little chia seeds. No joke, it tastes just like banana cream pie. I have it like almost every day for breakfast.
So the best part about this is it's a protein, so you're not eating, like, protein. When you're eating a lot of protein, if you're only eating meat, it like sits in your gut. So good protein, like for me, I don't eat a lot of meat. So eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, that's like my staple proteins and my Shakeology. But if you need a treat, these are freaking bomb. And then it's just protein and you don't have to feel guilty. If you're really, really desperate and you need a really good treat, Shakeology has a ton of dessert recipes, actually. Shakeology mug cake, just Pinterest it. There's a ton of them. I've made Shakeology chocolate before. Obviously, it is not like Cadbury eggs chocolate, but it does help, like, curb your craving a little bit.
Okay, so I have a question. Where does the Shakeology fall into, like, your containers? Like, where do you count that? Like, does that make sense?
So your Shakeology will count as a protein.
It's a protein.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll count that as a protein, and then if you blend it with fruit or vegetables, you just count that as your containers too. So
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Or spinach, that's part of your containers, which
Okay.
is helpful if you feel like you can't eat a lot. I will dump things in my shake because then I don't have to eat it. I just drink it, and you don't even.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's a protein, and then whatever fruit or veggie mixes you add to it.
Okay. I wasn't sure where it, like I said, where it fell under, like which so okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really talking a lot. Sorry.
I love it.
That's what we're here for.
I was a little worried because nobody wrote any questions, and I was like, I guess everybody knows everything.
Except for me. Except for me.
Amber, I don't think anyone's muted anymore. Everybody's kids.
I'm just too shy to talk.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, Amber. It's good. It's good.
Sit here and watch you guys. Watch the husband. Watch you guys.
We have fun. We have so much fun.
So why don't you have like a Facebook group to make like things easier to post stuff and albums and?
We did for a long time until the app came. There are certain aspects to the app that I do like as far as a coach standpoint. Like I can see who's tracked their stuff. I can schedule things easier as far as posting and stuff. They are adding to the app, and it's only been out for less than a year, so I know that they're going to be improving some things. The only thing I don't like about the app, I love being able to go live in my groups and be able to just have a Sharon motivational speech moment.
I love Sharon motivational speech moments.
Sometimes I just have to say it, and it's just not the same when you record yourself. Like it just feels more like I'm talking to people if it's live. So I do like the live aspect, and I like the and honestly, if it helps, I'm willing to do a group that has stuff that has info, like an info type group. I'm totally willing to do that. Where I was having the issue with groups is we're so overloaded with people adding people to all their groups that it was like I noticed my challengers not checking in and not showing up because I think they were getting so many notifications from every single MLM group that they're added to that they didn't ask to be added to, that the challenge groups were almost like, I don't know. So everyone just kind of switched it to the app so it's separate and it's its own thing and it's not, I don't know. But that's why I do the message thread in Facebook too, because it's hard to communicate a lot of those things in the app because it gets so lost in the thread. Because the news feed shows everybody's logs of Shakeology, everybody's workout, which is great, but any really important things, like you can only pin one post a day, like you can only pin one thing to the top of the page. And so anyway, we could do both if that is helpful. I'm totally willing to do both. I think
both would be an idea because, like you said, the app you can see everybody's progress and whatnot, but with the group you can post your favorite recipes and you can have an album of this and we can have like conversations going on and trying to scroll on that thing. I get car sick.
Yeah, and right now I get probably more notifications than anybody because I'm the admin, but I get like 100 notifications a day from that thing. And so I try and look at the most I can. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are benefits to both. So yeah, I might do maybe I'll think about some good ways to incorporate it because I do miss certain aspects of it. It's just, yeah. So anyway, you can always post things in the message thread too. It will let you post recipes and weird stuff. But I like doing these too because the message thread, I literally could do voice messages for 30 minutes. 1 minute long messages. And sometimes I'm like, holy cow, Sharon, shut up. But I just can't stop. Oh, Brianne's snorting. Like your mom.
I feel like we need to get together in person instead of just
I'd be like a high school reunion for the four of us.
Yeah, there you go.
blast.
Honestly, that's why I love coaching because we get to just hang out. We do our meetings like this and then we go to dinner and we hang out and it's the best. So let's do it. I'm down. I'm serious.
Me too.
Me too.
You're gonna plan it. And you better all show up. Because if you're anything like me, you say you're gonna go and then you try and back out as much as possible because you're scared.
I'm there as long as I can find somewhere to drop my kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I have older kids. I can drop them and leave whenever I want.
Me too.
Still attached to one of mine, so.
Oh, no. My youngest is 8. I'm like, peace out. Mom's gone.
I feel like you just had him. Isn't that weird? I remember him as a baby. But it's been a while, I guess.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's a monster now.
Yeah. But Gabby's going to be 7, so.
Yeah, Logan's a year older than Gabby.
So, yeah. All right. It's been fun, you guys. This was the highlight of my whole day. I'm joking. I needed this. This is
I have something to share really fast.
Yeah, go for it.
So you've been seeing the underneath of my cabinet because I've been putting my phone on the microwave. But so I don't know if you can see, Grady's been helping me. My kitchen looks like a bomb gone off. But this I do this is 2.5 containers, but I do cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, and carrots, and then you cut up cubes of cheese. But there is a seasoning called, oh my hell. Maybe not. I was all excited there for
I love you, Megan.
It's called Salad Supreme. You put it on pasta salad, Do you guys know what I mean?
Go to bed.
I have some on my counter right now. Do you want me to get it and
I'll
show
come
it?
up there and
Yeah.
just get it.
I'll go get it.
So I'll sprinkle salad supreme on there,
Oh,
and
no.
then crap.
Like
And then
5
you
minutes.
can get this Catalina
You're
dressing.
making
You
me
can-
sick. Like, what?
Not moving. But if you use this stuff, you can get it sugar free or whatever. But you do a little bit and you toss it with the salad supreme, and it's super good. I mean, and that's almost 3 containers of vegetables. So anyway, I was excited. I almost forgot I had it, and I'm sitting there cutting up everything, and I was like, "Hey, you could do that." So anyway, sorry. But
Guys, like Meg is like the cook of our family. Shane will not eat my food, but if he hears about Megan cooking it, he'll eat it. He'll eat anything that. She's like the chef. She's such a good cook. I'm so glad she's my sister-in-law because she feeds me and my family.
well, you always babysit my kids, so the least I could do is feed you.
Well, thank you.
Sorry to make you guys all car sick.
That is really good, though. That mix is really good.
Yeah, super nummy.
Here's the salad supreme if any of you didn't see that. That's what it looks like.
Yes, there you go.
Yep.
Some of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, when we figure out how to share, I also have a super awesome recipe for a healthy chicken salad sandwich stuff.
I love chicken salad.
So good.
We're gonna come up with a good. Maybe we'll have like an ongoing group that anyone who's ever done a challenge we can add to the Facebook group, and that's where we can share recipes and ideas and just have a place to go. Maybe that's what we'll do. It's not so much do it every group, but just have like one main group that we just keep adding people to, and everyone can just share what
we have. We have the files in that we can keep all the recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
If you guys ever need ideas though, like, and we don't have it shared, like this group, I'm going to be sharing recipes and stuff a little bit more. I'm going to try to. I suck at recipes. I'm not going to lie. I am the worst recipe user. But, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, just ask us if you need ideas for, like, if you're not getting your veggies in and you need ideas, just like reach out. Seriously, I'm gonna act. I don't have my coaches in our message thread, but I'm gonna put you guys in it. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to do one big group thing and add your people too. I'm cool with that too. I don't. It will only get crazy if everybody is talking like I talk every day.
When I'm sitting at work and my phone keeps lighting up because Sharon's sending us voice messages all day long.
That was today.
No, like seriously, my phone has gone off all freaking day, and I've been in like an old car, and I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm getting the hell out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Like I still need to.
You gotta turn off your notifications. That is
Yeah.
turn your notifications, and then
But I don't want to miss out on anything.
Mine doesn't ding, but my screen lights up.
Yeah, I turn all my notifications, so I get no things on my phone. It just has like the little stuff up. Shows me that I have a message. But when I have an idea, I've had a lot of ideas today.
There are a lot of good ideas too, so keep them coming.
When I have it, I just gotta go with it, or else I'll lose it because my motivation dies real quick. So anyway, you guys are awesome. This is fun.
This was fun.
So, anything else? Anything? People watching this recording are gonna be like, "What the crap?" It's out. That's all I know. Anything else? Anything good? Okay, so I'm gonna really quickly before I jump off the check-in. So challenge group app. Log your Shakeology every day. Log your workouts. I think that's a good way to like really track what you're doing. I mean, obviously, if you're doing it every day, then it's easy. But sometimes we miss, and it's a good tool to be able to really see it. You can look at your calendar and it will tell you what you're doing. Eventually, I think they're supposed to be adding in the Container 21 Day Fix app into it, and that will make it even better. It's progressing and getting better. And
That'd be awesome.
I think a lot of coaches have talked about photo albums and videos, because literally the only thing I can post video-wise is if I upload it to YouTube, which is not a big deal. It's just so much easier just to go and not have to record it and then upload it. And then, anyway, it's not that big of a deal. I do them still. It's just not as fun for me. Not as natural for me. I get like, it's so weird to talk to yourself and then look.
Well, it's not interactive either. With Facebook Live, people can interact with you.
Yeah, people can hop on and you can, yeah, I agree. So I think that doing kind of the ongoing ideas group, whatever we call it, we'll figure that out. But I agree. I think that would be a good tool to use to help people.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Because so many people are visual that it's hard to like, it's hard. There's a lot of information and I could throw up even more information at you. You'll just be more overwhelmed. So take it baby steps and one at a time, and I can repeat myself 100 times. I don't mind. On the 101st time, I might be annoyed with you, but that's okay. Okay, so I lost my train of thought again. App. So log your Shakeology and your workout. I'll post a couple times a day, and then the 3 p.m. it will be pinned to the top of the page. It's a check-in. If you comment on that post and check in for the day, you're entered for weekly prizes, basically. So if you do all 7 days that week, you don't have to be perfect. It's just a matter of if you comment and check in. It's just an extra way of keeping you accountable to do it. So, and to make it a little bit more fun and competitive, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to it's hard when you have so many people in a group to really find what motivates everybody. And prizes motivate some people, and some people, they don't give two craps. So if you have a good motivation for yourself, let me know. Whatever I can do to push you that is your motivator. Like if you want to tell me this is what will motivate me, call me out, do whatever it takes, I will do it. I just won't be your babysitter. That's all I will tell you. I'm not going to babysit you because I don't do that. But I can barely keep up with myself, let alone everybody else. But anyway. Oh, and last thing, I got my book today. This is awesome book. I'm going to talk about this a lot in the challenge. Personal development really does help. Art. So this book is fun because it's literally 50 different chapters. So the chapters are 1 to 2 pages. Not a lot of reading. And it just kind of touches on different parts of your life and how to just be happier in general. It's not necessarily fitness. It touches on literally everything. Relationships, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. But it's literally 2 pages, and then she does a little mission and a reflection, and it just helps you think about things. It just helps, it helps to evolve your brain to think differently. So we'll talk about that a lot. If you guys, I encourage you to buy it. It's awesome. It's $8 on Amazon. So, and if you don't buy it and you win a weekly prize and that's what you want for your weekly prize, then I can send it to you. I can do that too. So, and if you were in my group last week, Chris, I owe you 2 weekly prizes. Yeah. I'll bring it to work.
She's awake. Chris is awake.
And I just posted this week's today. I was gonna mail them out, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait, and I'll just do it all at once. Anyway, okay, I'll let you guys go to bed. Thanks for hopping on. You come up with any other questions, just message me or post it in the thread. Or if I don't respond to you, it's probably because I didn't see it. So just personally message me or something. So, anyway. Thanks for hopping on. I'll let
Thanks, Ron.
bed. Don't be scared. Don't be overwhelmed. It's awesome.
One day at a time.
I know that's easier said than done, but I promise you it gets easier as you go. So you don't have to be perfect. Just do the best you can every day.
Yep.
And if that means I didn't have a Coke today and that's your best, that's your best. And then tomorrow, drink a little bit more water. It's all about progress. It doesn't, there's like, anyway, I'm going to stop now or I'll just go on another. So bad. When I really like something, you know it because I won't shut up about it. So anyway, we'll stop this recording now. So.